Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night. Time for your favorite Alabama program here on TDA. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're in the live chat, go ahead and start raising some chaos. If you're watching the replay, let us know what you think in the comment section below. As always, the Bama Standard is brought to you by Workspace Solutions and Oakmont Financial Partners. I'm your host, Justin Riley. With me, as always, living legend, 1999 All SEC linebacker Marvin Constant, and senior analyst of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Stephen M. Smith, and my other two co-hosts will be here shortly. What's going on, fellas?
Why does Stephen M. Smith look like he about to go damn direct traffic?
Hey, so
Look,
job, I'm actually wearing this shirt to represent my man Gucci Mane with that song Lemonade. Yeah, Gucci.
Let me find out you on work release and they got you out there picking up paper on the side of the highway.
No, man. Hey, it's that boy Gucci. You know what I'm saying? From that Lemonade for Gucci right here.
All right, Gucci Mane, we got a special guest here with us tonight. One of the hardest hitting linebackers in history of Alabama football. Go ahead, bring him in the right way.
Okay, so we got the guy here that kind of set the groundwork for Rolando McClain and set the groundwork for C.J. Mosley and Nico Johnson and Reggie Ragland and Reuben Foster. You know that whole lineage. Well, this is the father of the whole lineage, starting off the Nick Saban era in Alabama. Not in Bama history, Mark. We know that's you, but the Nick Saban lineage of Alabama, that father, we got him right here with us. The first person that was under the one Kevin Steele, who's back at Alabama as a defensive coordinator. We bring in Papa Darren Mustin. He's in here, people. What's going on, Darren?
I love that, Steven. I love it. Appreciate it.
Hey, you can hire him out. He also does Cameo, whatever you need, brother.
But yes, we all know Marvin started off from 1990.
That's it. 1999. Come on, man. Get your timeline right, sir.
My name is not Derek Oden. Okay, I'm not Derek Oden. Don't give me the 90. Okay, not Lemansky Hall. Okay, not those guys.
Well, man, we are glad to have you here. It's been a while trying to get you on. Finally, our schedules worked out pretty well. We're pretty excited, and we're definitely glad to hear about your story, man. A lot of Alabama fans were able to witness that firsthand like I was, but very excited to hear your story tonight.
I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. And to get things right, that linebacker room, we all followed this one dude named DeMarcco Ryans, okay? That was the dude. Don't ever say it's me as the father. Freddie Roach in that room was Freddie Roach, Juwan Simpson, and DeMarcco Ryans.
And who raised all them?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you give it to the grand. That's the great
Godfather.
Great.
And by the way, I mean, DeMarcco gonna do work for the Houston Texans. Oh, yeah. I'm interested to see, does he come up with a way to get that number one pick from the Bears? Does DeMarcco get that pick from him?
I don't know. I just know everywhere DeMarco's been, he's done something great. From Texas to Philly to the Texans, now Niners. I mean, everywhere he's been, he's done something special. So I think the Texans got one.
He swear he can bowl, though. He swear. Miko, if you watching this, come see me when you think you're ready again, because last time it didn't go the way you thought it was going to
go. Well, listen, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to start things off with Stephen and Smith's segment. Stephen, we had many Alabama players here in the NFL Combine. For those of y'all that did not watch and maybe not have caught up to things, if you would, give everybody an update. We did pretty well, I think, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
You ain't running no 40s, man.
You don't know, man? I still got them wheels, and Stephen M. Smith is still on mute.
Yeah, I thought Alabama did well in the Combine. I mean, Will Anderson, we knew he was going to run a 4.6 and just kill it. We knew that. Brian Branch was the Swiss Army knife, ran a 4.5, jumped a 35-inch vert. We knew he's got great game speed. A lot of the guys did extremely well. I didn't watch a bunch of Henry To'o. I know I watched him run like a 4.7, in the 40. So it
sundial.
didn't really pay much attention there, but Anderson did well. Brian Branch did well. Jordan Battle ran well. DeMarcco Hellams ran well. Jahmyr Gibbs 4.36, and according to him 4.23. If you look at his Instagram, so Jahmyr Gibbs was flying. Tyler Steen, from an offensive line perspective, had a good day. Byron Young had a good day. So, I mean, for the most part, the guys that went out there and participated, they enhanced their draft stock. We'll see Bryce Young throw at Pro Day in 2 weeks on March 23rd.
Gotcha. Well, in your mind, who you feel like earned a better payday? Who showed out the most? Who has the most to gain after that performance this past weekend?
To me, Justin, it's up there between Gibbs and Branch. I mean, I thought both of those two earned it. I thought Gibbs did work. I thought Brian Branch on one particular drill, he was just eating it up. So between one of those two.
Awesome. Yeah, as you mentioned, the big guys, Byron Young looked really well. Moved his feet exceptionally well. Very quick on his feet. Great use of hands. Great use of power. Of course, we already knew about that. I saw a little bit of Emil Ekiyor. He really showed out pretty well. Moved exceptionally fast for a big man. I think that his draft stock has gone up tremendously since this past weekend. But Darren, you had an opportunity to coach a few guys in your tenure. What are some things you remember for some of the guys that you had go to the NFL Combine or maybe in their pro day? How did you prep them, and I guess what kind of led to their overall success as they try to make their way into NFL life?
The first thing that I tell them, if you ain't got no film, don't even worry about it. I mean, there's a lot of people with all these skills that can jump high, run, do a bunch of bench in the bench press, and run the 40 fast. If your game takes up, don't expect to get picked up. That's just one thing I tell them, just straight off. Like, they're gonna know you before. Like, let's just be honest. This guy named Amon-Ra, I got a chance to train him. He wasn't gonna do that great in the running, but I was like, if you get this cat, he's a competitor. He's not gonna be the biggest. He's probably gonna be stronger than you. You don't know it, but he's a competitor. And the Lions picked up a winner. Look at Drake London. I don't think he did the combine. He was picked up first wideout. So a lot of these kids got to remember, why are you waiting the last 9 weeks of your career to take it serious when you got them other 3, now 5 years to be for real? That's like prepping for a final exam and you wait the night before and you knew all year, I got this big exam. Why don't you just prep a little bit every day? And then when the exam comes, you're ready. You ain't got to do all this extra. Now, as for training the guys, that's all about technique. There's cheat codes to all these little drills. The pro agility, it's about technique because it's something called a closed reaction drill. Football is an open reactive drill. You don't know where the person's going to go. You got to get them without them going. The pro agility, you know where you're going to go. So, yeah, there are some things, benefits, broad jump, vertical jump, how explosive, how fast somebody is. When it all comes down to it is, can you really play ball? Can you run track? That's just how I feel.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I feel like that too much is being focused on the cosmetic side of everything. This is the underwear Olympics, as Stephen M. Smith coins it. And I think too many people get hyped up going into the NFL draft, which starts kind of about now, but it gets progressively worse as the draft gets closer. You always see people that you've never heard of before all of a sudden go from a 5th or 6th round to the 1st round, just their flavor of the week. And they ran a 4.2 or 4.3, had that 40-inch vert, like you said, looked exceptionally well in combine. But like you said, Darren, they don't have the tape to back up what, that high draft selection.
Well, if you're in the combine and they don't know who you are, you got tape. Period. Well, if you're at a small school and you're at the combine, you got some tape. They just want to see if you can compete and run. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, here's the thing about it. Absolutely right, Darren. But there's a caveat to that. If you're at the Alabama, the Florida, the Tennessee, the Georgia, and you don't have tape, then that's on you. But you got some of these guys, prime example, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, Pacheco, however you pronounce his last name, played at Maryland, had a horrible line, played in a horrible conference, had skills beyond skills. But because the team he played for his film wasn't better than a lot of the other running backs, so he was a late round pick. But because he ran the 40 that he ran and showed the other skills that he had, it helped Kansas City to make a choice to pick him up when they picked him up. But had a kid like that played at a bigger school, oh, he'd have been a first-round draft pick with ease. Because what he's doing at Kansas City, this isn't just something new to him. He just played on a horrible team in college.
Welcome in comedy legend Steve Brown, the star of the show, the Bama Standard, starring Steve Brown and them. This is the man right here, Darren Mustin. This is who you want to hang around if you want clout.
Why is Steve in the dark? Who you hiding from, man?
Man, listen, I just I'm a little late because my workout went over a little longer than it should have. Because since I'm gonna be the star of this show, I don't want Bo Scarbrough looking better than me. I saw his workout and I felt like I need to go a little longer. So I don't need Bo Scarbrough looking better than me. So that's what it is. That's why I'm late. Marvin, I already got you.
Steve, you ever notice whenever we have a former linebacker on the show, Marvin always shows up and wearing one of two things, either sleeveless shirts or shirts that are two sizes too small,
or no bottom,
mad at me.
or no bottom.
Clothes fit the way they're supposed to, Justin. Okay.
He'll wear some spandex. I'm talking about the one that snap at the bottom when you take them off, or.
Steve, I know you ain't laughing with that waste management shirt on. Don't do that. You look like you ready to hang off the back of somebody's trash truck.
Remember that show? Remember that show, Rock, Marvin? There you go.
Rock.
Well, glad you're here, man. I mean, you are what really makes this show flow. So now we can
of course
get started.
Of course.
Oh, Steve, I got my tickets, man, to the comedy show. I got my tickets.
And why would you go and do that?
Because I want to go to the show.
No, all you have to do is talk to me. I got you, man. I got you. The only one who got to pay is Marvin.
That's it. Friends and family discount.
See, I didn't get that memo, Steve. I didn't get it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He'll feel offended if you don't take him up on that offer. Seriously. I made a mistake in paying one time.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah.
Well, Darren, now it's your time, man. We're going to focus on you a little bit. And not many people take the type of journey you did to rise to fame, especially at Alabama, especially in this day and age, the modern age, the modern way of thinking as far as athletes go. You didn't have NIL driving you. You just had an intense desire to compete the highest level. So if you would, man, for those of you who don't know, I mean, you came from Middle Tennessee State, a mid-major. I want you to kind of talk about the transition from a mid-major to a Power 5 program where not many people gave you a chance of really succeeding. And then you get there, you walk on, you're with Coach Shula, and he's there about 20 minutes. He's fired. In comes Nick Saban, and you essentially have to start all over again. How difficult was that process? And when did you really show something to Coach Saban that made him believe, all right, this is my guy?
We got to go all the way back to 2003 when I went to MTSU. I was a freshman there to sophomore year, and it was a relationship thing. Being in the coaching field over the past, 15 years, I've noticed it's not necessarily the things you do, it's how you make the kids feel, and it's the relationships and not necessarily the transactions, but how much you're transforming these kids. And it was more transactional with those coaches. It wasn't I didn't like the vibe. So I just packed my things and was like, I'm going somewhere. So I gave my friend a call. He was at Alabama at the time. And I was like, what's going on there? I think I'm going to go there. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't know who Paul Bear Bryant was. I didn't know where it was. I knew nothing of Alabama. Only thing I knew was it was at a different state. My homie was there. So I called my high school coach, and I sat him down. We had dinner. I was like, what should I do? He was like, don't go to Bama. Go to a smaller school. You'll never play at Bama. I was like, all right, appreciate it. I left. I went to Bama. So just straight.
That's
how I felt. That's how I felt. So I got there. I never forget it. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had orientations at 6 a.m. I had no idea where Bama was. So I called my homie. I was like, hey, you want to hop on the road and go with me? Because he was like, sure. I need to go down there anyway because he was already at school at Bama. So I got on the road, and I never forget it. He played this dude named Young Jeezy. He played bottom of the map. He was like, I got this new artist I need you to hear. So this dates back what year it was. He played bottom of the map. He played the whole album. I was like, this is a sign. I need to go to Bama. So we made the journey, got to Bama, did my orientation. I was a walk-on. And then the process of getting on the football team. Now, that was tough because I tried to walk on, called the front desk. I was like, hey, I'm here to walk on. They said, we're full. Sorry. Click. Hung up on me. I was like, whoa, what?
What?
So I'm freaking out. I'm calling who I can try to call. I was like, I just want to try out. So they finagled in. It was like, all right, we can take one more. Just bring him, whatever. Get in. I do my thing at the tryout. They're like, okay, you made the team. Shula years, I'm there with DeMarcco and Juwan and Freddie Roach and just learning from them and doing the scout team thing with LaRon McClain on the other side and just hustling. That's all I was trying to do. I'll be honest with you, I just was paying for school for myself. I was like, I'll take out loans. I would enjoy my college career. I'm not sitting on the sidelines at MTSU. I'd rather sit on the sidelines down here. And I never forget going to my first Bama game. I walked in and I was like, what is this? I knew football was big in the SEC, but I've only been to like Vanderbilt games or like UT games. Yeah, right. I'll go to UT games and I hate Orange. So every time I go visit my sister at UT, I just wouldn't even go to games. I was like, this is stupid. I don't like UT. So I went to the first Bama game and it was crazy. And then I walked on and then I remember I got tickets to the game, but I wasn't allowed to be on the sidelines. So they were fixing half the stadium. We were playing Florida. That was the Florida game where Prothro went off and got hurt. I was the loudest. I was like, man, I can't wait to get an opportunity. Then, a couple years down the road, Shula gets fired, and they bring in this guy named Nick Saban. I'm still walking on, entering my, final year. I was like, I guess I hope I get a scholarship, whatever. He comes in. I'll never forget his first speech. He got everybody into the meeting room, old meeting room at the time. They got it totally new now. He sat everybody down, and it was like the majority – I'm paraphrasing. It's been a long time. The majority of the NFL don't like me. Most of the NCAA don't like me. So it makes you think if you don't like me, best people going to play. And he walks out. I'm like, yes, I got a chance. Because I was walking, and I sat in the front row. I did what I had to do. I didn't have problems with my school. I just tried hard. Down the road, we do spring ball. I get an award for the Bear Bryant Most Inspiration Award. I'm trying my best. Summertime comes. I'm like, talk to mom and dad. I was like, do I take out more student loans? They was like, go talk to your coach. I was like, all right, here it goes. Set up a meeting. I was like, Coach Saban, it's that time. Do I need to take out some student loans? He was like, no, we got you. That was it. I went home and told my roommates, and they seemed more excited than me. I was like, yeah, I worked for this.
So wait a minute. Wait, hold on. So you didn't know who Paul Bear Bryant was, and you didn't know who Steve Brown was.
I didn't know nobody.
You didn't know who Steve Brown was. Dustin, what is he doing here? What is he doing here? He didn't know who Steve Brown was?
My screening process needs to be greatly upgraded because this is not acceptable.
Hey man, you know what? Hey, congratulate you on your process, man. That's a high level of perseverance, man. Because Marvin quit like twice, and he went back. He went back. So yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. So that's the journey, and I think the thing that Nick Saban. I remember we had a game. This dude was in front of me. I'm not going to say his name. I'll never forget his name. He was so much more athletic than me. He was better than me in like every physical, athletic way possible. But Coach Saban told him, I'll never play you because they don't trust you. Literally told the kid that. But he was a notorious liar to the team. And then once he showed me that, he was like, maybe he's not lying. The best person like on and off the field is going to have a shot to play. And I got my shot. And I got to work for this coach named Kevin Steele, and Boy, I had a good time with him. He by far is probably one of my favorite position coaches I've had in my entire life. Like his first meeting, I never forget it. He was like, "You know what type of linebacker I'm looking for?" He picks up this piece of paper, and it says, "Mustin, catch this piece of paper." So he lets it go in there, start flow. I'll catch it. I said, "Okay." Rolando McClain catches a piece of paper. He tried to catch, he missed it. And he was like, "Do it to me." So I took the piece of paper, let it start floating there. He said, "Grr!" He's like, "That's the type of linebacker I'm looking for." I was like, "Oh, okay. All right, I get it."
So question. What do you think he's going to bring to Bama this year's team? You think he's going to, have some dogs out there? You think he's going to let them go? What do you think?
Well, it's about those recruits, man. Those talking about those dogs. You got to get those players. I don't care how great of a coach you are. You got to have the best players. But once you get in that room, I believe he's going to tap into them. I think he wants to be a head coach. I truly believe Coach Steele wants to be a head coach at some point. Maybe, maybe not, but that's what I'm feeling. And I think he's trying to build himself to get there. I hope he brings success. But the other team down in the other state, they got some dogs.
I got
What other team in other? What other team in other state?
Well, I play for Kirby. I'm a big Kirby fan. I like Kirby, so I'm proud of what he's done and the recruiting that he's done. One of the things that I saw the difference of Nick Saban and Coach Shula and Nick Saban was those recruits. My senior year, I will never forget it. My senior year, I got a party house. On the couch is a dude named Julio Jones. Sitting next to him was this guy named Mount Cody. Cat in the back, I thought he was a JUCO. Big old neck, his name was Dante Hightower. And the small guy behind all them was named Mark Ingram. We didn't have none of that when Shula was there. When Saban came in, they came in floods. So it's all about them dudes. And if you give Coach Steele those dudes, he gonna get them right.
I have a question for you.
What's up?
Do you think Coach Steele is better than Pete Golding?
Biasly, I've never had.
No.
Real quick.
Excuse me. This is the Bama Standard. We don't do nothing. We are not politically correct at all. Call it like you see it. Stop playing.
I'm going to say Coach Steele. Why? Because I don't really follow position coaches like you guys.
He's a defensive coordinator.
He was a defensive coordinator.
I'm trying to tell you what I follow and what I don't. If we're going to be politically correct,
we're not going to be.
If we're not going to be politically correct, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. The coaches that I have involved myself with in the rooms I'm with, I coach and work with them. My network hasn't crossed them. So to be honest with you, I don't even know the coach you speak of. That's how much I follow.
He's the one who's been calling
Marvin.
The last 4 years.
Marvin. He's a smart guy. He weaseled himself out of this one. Hey, look. Like he been lifting weights with his head down. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna get these guys right. I don't believe that. Pete Golding was garbage.
When you're on the West Coast, like, and you follow what you can. I'm working with other teams in other states. I'm worried about these kids. And I mean, I'll just be honest, if I'm not following these position coaches like I need to, you know what? I'm not apologizing. I'm just telling you how it is.
You was on the West Coast? You was on the West Coast?
He's at USC.
I was with Lane Kiffin the day he got fired. I was on that bus right behind Lane Kiffin. I saw the whole thing go down. I was there with Ed Ogeron. I was there with Ed Ogeron and how he changed that team. And I saw how Coach Ed Ogeron coached. I really saw how he coached. And it changed in my mindset on that guy can coach. That guy's full of shit. So, like, that's how I look at it. I'm not going to look at it like based off your wins. Like, that's how I follow. I was with Jeff Monken when he gave to Army West Point and told the military kids they soft to their face. Like, these kids is soft. And I'm not going to use the words he used at them, but he changed that whole program because they ain't beat Navy in, I don't think it was like 15 years. Mm-hmm. And he changed that around. So, like, that's what I've been following. I've been a part of these programs and I've been trying to change around. That's why I'm at the HBCU now. I'm trying to change some kids' lives and win championships in where I'm at. So, like, I don't follow that. Yeah.
What HBCU are you at now?
TSU, baby. Nashville.
You over there with Eddie.
I don't even work with the football team. I worked with the football team last year. But yes, Coach George is here. I'm working with a lot of athletes. I'm more on the Olympic side now. I'm trying to tell you, I've been around the country, and my culture experience has been different from the South. South football is God. Period.
Yep.
Nobody.
Yeah, I heard you say you was in LA. I just came from LA. Down, Lower Alabama, down there by Mobile. Down there.
I know that part. It's good fishing.
Yeah. Just down there.
Darren, I want to kind of go back a little bit when Coach Saban first got there. A little bit different than the way things are now. What was the buy-in process like as you transition out of the Shula years to the Nick Saban years, not just for you, but for the whole team? Was it an easy thing for people to kind of jump on, or was there some fighting going on?
For me, it's easy. It's pretty simple. That's the head guy. Do what he says do. And back then, bye. Good luck. This is what's going to happen. I don't care what you thought was going to happen. This is what's going to happen. I run this ship. Like before we started talking, the media, you talk about how the media can't get into practices. Before him, media would flood the fields. After him, the media was like, dang, we better get what we need to get at this certain time because he's not playing. Right. He ran everything. So buy-in, what is that? You're going to do this or not. Now it's a little different because people can transfer, the NIL, the transfer portal is a little different.
I hate that.
It's taken the amateurism away from the game. It's taken that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we talk about the participation trophy culture. It's really fed into that, the instant gratification.
You know what I like? What I'm hearing from you, though, man. That you've gone to all these different places, man, and wherever you go, you're trying to better the student athletes, man. I really like that, man. That's kudos to you on that, man. I really like that. Real tough.
I appreciate it. It's about the kids. Period.
Yeah.
Talk about the whole persona of make their ass quit. I think that you definitely embodied that when you got there. Your play was evident on the field. Talk about how everybody else kind of took on that mantra. And I know you guys understood it. Different generation, different way of thinking. Does this generation really grasp what that means, or do they just see it as a fancy catchphrase to put it on their Instagram post?
Well, I mean, go ahead, Steve.
No, I was laughing. Go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, back when I grew up and I played, when they said make them quit, is hurt them so bad that their best player can't play anymore. And if you hurt their best player, you're going to win. That is just the mindset. Like ever since I was 7 years old, you take this and you put it there and you knock them out. And I might take you to Pizza Hut and you get some reward. That's the mentality of making them quit. That's how I was raised. And when I was playing ball, like I never forget Jimmy Johns. He was a running back / linebacker / just kill people. Tried to hit him, dude. It hurt. You tried to hurt people because once you inflict enough pain on somebody, they're gonna be like, Coach, I'm done. He hit too hard, and then you win. This day and age, you get penalized for blasting somebody. Like I was watching the USC game, and Raylan Goforth. I trained him. I've seen his progression. I've seen how soft that kid was, and I see him make that hit made me just jump because I know who that kid is. And he get a penalty. I was like, that's a great hit. And then it goes viral on Instagram as being a big hit, but it's still a penalty. So I don't know if this generation understands that, make them quit the same mentality. It is a lot of catchphrases and things that sound good, but to inflict pain upon somebody else is not necessarily in the game like it used to be.
Well, you know what, man? I get what you're saying. And honestly, this is why I'm so glad that Coach Steele is coming to Bama, because our last coach, and me and Marvin used to say it all the time, and this is real talk. You take on the personality of your coach. Marvin can explain it better. And our coaches, our middle linebackers, they wouldn't blast people. They would grab you and lay you down and give you a pillow. That's just what it is. No type of aggression, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not the Bama standard that we all know and love. So we're hoping and praying that Kevin Steele brings that back to Bama. We got some dogs, trust me. We got the dogs, but I think, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Coach Steele, but I know I think he is a fiery coach. I don't know, but that's what our defense needs.
That's what you definitely need as a college kid, college player, because I've said it numerous times. These kids take on the personality of their coach. And if your coach is soft and laid back, you're going to play soft and laid back. My position coach was Jeff Rouser. He was batch crazy, and we got along well together. It was a match made in heaven, baby.
And I'm hearing, like, you know, these coaches, like, we're coaching on analytics, like, okay, so since they're doing this, we're going to rush 3 and drop 8. And I'm like, come on, man, play football. Nobody, you know, and it's like no aggression. Have you taken the time to watch Alabama the last couple of years on defense?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's keep it 100. Did it not aggravate the hell out of you?
There are some points where you be like, you ask the question, what are we doing? That question has popped up a few times. It
ain't been no some points. It's been all the time. Every time you come, you know what, man? You know what? You are a really nice guy. You're a really nice guy. And you know what, man? I like your professionalism. That's what it is. You're a really nice guy.
Hey, Steve, he worried about that next step. He ain't finna put his foot in his mouth messing around with us.
Hey, man, I feel you.
We get calls from the university, man, so I feel you.
They make it so bad. I've gotten calls. I've gotten calls from DeVry, ITT Tech, Phoenix Online. So they are really upset. So I don't care about it.
But you know, the one thing about it, the one thing I do want us to get back to is the Alabama, not so much as the standard, as much as it is the realization of, it was a time at Alabama when the coaches would say, I'm going to send my killers out there and let them go do what they do. Let them go hunt. I want to get back to those days. Just send them out there and just let them hunt. Let them do what they do. And you ain't got it. It ain't no rah-rah. You don't need no motivation, because you know when you send them out there, what they about to go do.
Well, not just that, Marvin, but getting back to that full intimidation factor. I mean,
everybody was scared to play us.
I remember 2015 when we took on Georgia in that monsoon of rain at Sanford Stadium. Georgia came out yapping, and then Reuben Foster, Reggie Ragland, Minka Fitzpatrick, Ashawn Robinson, those guys took the field, and it was just crickets. Like, Georgia couldn't say anything. They were just that scared. And then Tony Brown comes out there with no shirt on, walks through their whole practice lineup, and they real scared because they thought Tony Brown was psycho.
So back to the days of sending my killers out there.
Yeah,
and let them do what they do. Do work.
Hey, man. And honestly, it was a time when people were really, really afraid to play Bama. You know what I'm saying? It was the saying where everybody want Bama until they see Bama. Now everybody got we want Bama signs. I went to my my old high school, my special ed class. We want Bama signs on colored on the wall, all types of stuff like that. So
what?
I'm just saying, everybody want Bama.
They wanted a banana. They just spelled it wrong. They spelled it Bama.
There's an FCC violation right there.
You know, I think I'm gonna quit this show. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something real quick before we go any farther. Make sure you go to the Bama Standard page, our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's very important. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as soon as you come off this show. Let some people know to subscribe to the Bama Standard YouTube channel. It's very important. Do that, people. Do it.
Also, like the show, share it around, and you even get a copy of the next tickets to the comedy club for Steve Brown.
He's over here.
Did he say he ain't agree to that, man?
I agree.
He'll even autograph a pair of Stacey Adams.
Right. That is. Now, as a matter of fact, we're gonna get free season tickets to Tennessee State games too, as well. Yeah.
I'll sneak you in the back.
Wow.
That's where Steve usually comes in. He acts like he's selling water, but it's hose water.
That is.
But I want to go back to what you said about Kevin Steele, about what he expects from linebackers, that intensity, demanding that dog, and he can bring it out of you. But he's also a great developer of talent, which kind of brings me to my next point. Talk about your linebacker room. It wasn't the typical linebacker room we're used to at Alabama. It was really composed of one major player that we knew of coming in, Rolando McClain, but then there's you as a former walk-on, and then a former wide receiver in Zeke Knight. Can you talk about that collection of linebackers? Amazing what Kevin Steele was able to do with you guys. Y'all ran the defense. Y'all ran the field, made your presence known very early. So this is kind of a time for you to prop what you guys were able to do.
Man, you make me go back in the memory bank. I just remember Coach Steele having a room of DeMarcus Waldrop, myself, Rolando McClain was the big name, but you said Ezekiel Knight, not Elliott. Zeke Knight was my good friend. I never forget him. I remember he almost had a heart attack, and I take him to the hospital. And that's when he figured out he had the heart issues. Crazy night. But that room was just filled with different individuals. Like DeMarcus Waldrop maybe weighed 210 pounds, and then Rolando McClain was 260. So yeah. And it's like, but he was athletic. I'll never forget. Like we used to do karate in the summer, and we were in the gym. And this is how athletic this dude was. I went and dunked the basketball. Zeke got it, dunked the basketball. Rolando took off from outside the paint and just made the rim just shake at 264. I was like, yeah, I got some problems. But, like, he would try to demand leadership from his players. I remember that's what he used to do, and that's a good sign of a coach, because if the coach wants it more than his players, you're in trouble. But when those players want it more than your coach, you're good to go. And he tried to instill that into us. It was probably one of the most unsuccessful years for Nick Saban, but it was one of my more successful years as a linebacker, because I got a chance to play. There was no, well, I recruited you. It don't matter. The best person is going to play. And I just gave my all. I just really tried my best and didn't get in trouble, because a lot of times kids wouldn't play because they just get in trouble. And I just didn't get in trouble. I just kept getting to play. And he would demand, do the right thing, period. Go bust heads. He would always tell us stories of previous linebackers he would have that he was looking for, that, in practice, they go so hard that the coach was like, please take him out of this. I can't get anything done on offense. Can you please take him out? He's not going to get any better. We can't get any better if he's there. Can you take him out? And I know
Marvin,
that's what kind of linebacker.
Yourself?
Because I ended
I heard of your name. I heard your name a lot.
Hey, no, Martin, no, they stopped practicing because his ass would have a seizure. That's it. Listen.
Steve, no lie, Steve. If I didn't want them to run a play, they weren't going to run a play.
Well, that's the type of linebacker that I guarantee you Coach Steele is going to bring. If he puts his foot down and be like, no more.
Yeah. If I didn't want them to do, and Neil Calloway would get so mad and like, just go. Hey, man. I'm not just going to let y'all do what y'all want to do because you're telling me to.
Man, y'all stay off of Sean.
Yep, stay off of Sean. Nope. As long as his ass in there, he's going to get the same thing everybody else get.
Wow. So what do y'all think about this year's linebacking core? You think I think we got some dogs. I'm excited about this Kendrick Blackshear guy.
I'm gonna say this. Spring practice starts March 20th. If Kevin Steele and Blackshaw hit this off correctly, Blackshaw can give folks some problems. He can give folks some problems. Because I think the wheel is going to be Deontay Lawson. The wheel is going to be Deontay Lawson. If Blackshaw, because Blackshaw had grabbed so much of that play, but before he got hurt last year, he broke his hand. He's healthy now. If he and Kevin Steele hit this correctly, it could be something.
Here's what I'll say about that. Darren, you'll probably agree with this. I've seen so many linebackers have all the physical attributes. Every tool in the toolbox, but that mental wasn't right. And if that mental ain't right, and you can't grasp that game plan and make the adjustments in real time, you're never going to play.
That's why he said what he said as far as coaches saying, no matter how athletic you are, if I can't trust you, there's no sense in being out there. And I take it that means being trustworthy on and off the field. You make good decisions off the field, but you better know this playbook.
Right. It amazes me some of the best football players at the linebacker position we had at these different schools were not your best people in the weight room. I can't remember one time where your best weight room dude was your best linebacker. A lot of times they're just, well, like, okay, they'll be strong, they might be explosive, but they weren't like, damn, this dude is a freak. It'd be on the field, they are so much faster than everybody else because they know where to go. Like once I forgot what coach told me this. He was like, look, if I had a race, me versus you, to $1 million around the block, you didn't know where to go, I knew where to go. You can have whatever vehicle you want. I can beat you in a bike because I know where to go. If you don't know where to go in this game of football, you're not going to be fast. It don't matter how big you are. It don't matter how fast you are, how strong you are. If you don't know where to go, you're going to be slow. And I think I'm not thinking Coach Steele going to have them kids knowing where they go.
See, and that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. A great coach is not only going to teach you the defense you're running, they're going to teach you offenses. They're going to teach you the different personnel groupings. They're going to teach you what comes out of the different sets. They're going to teach you what the different motions mean. They're going to teach you how offenses set plays up so that when you see these different setups, you can make the proper adjustments to your unit as well as you can be where you're supposed to be when that ball is snapped.
And that's one thing we didn't do on defense for the last couple of years, make adjustments. Tennessee beat us on the same play 3 or 4 different times. Same exact play.
I kid you not. Jeff Rousey, Ellis Johnson, they made me learn every aspect of offense. I spent as much time learning offenses as I did spend learning defense.
Yeah, because you was the fullback on the scout team. So I understand that. I understand.
I was a fullback too on the scout team. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
See?
Okay. So this is their support group, Steve.
No. They made me learn. No, but seriously, they made me learn just as much offense as defense so that when I was on that field, I was comfortable so that I could make sure everybody knew what was going on and that I could put everybody where they were supposed to be. Because
you was the man in the middle.
Personnel group you have, it's a variety of plays that can be ran. You know, if they tight to the formation, you know they're trying to go wide. If the running back is 1 by 1, you know it's probably screen or draw. There's so many different little nuances that you learn when you truly study the game that make you a better defensive player.
But Marvin, why couldn't Kenny just listen?
Because Kenny is Kenny. That's a different problem.
That's really all you can say.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I saw something.
You ain't seen nothing, man.
I want to go back to the Tennessee game in 2007 since y'all just spoke about Tennessee. I know, Darren, there was a special hatred for you in regards to Tennessee. That's a game that in the Nick Saban era that really got us fired up. No one gave us a chance. I mean, hey, look, we had several guys suspended. Didn't look like we had much of a chance. We go in there and we shut them down. You kind of knew something special was happening because we started out with an onside kick. We recover, drive it down the field. Can you talk about that game? And you had some pretty nice hits on Arian Foster.
I have a couple mess ups too. But anyway,
I didn't see those.
Nah, Coach, that's one of those games that Coach gave us a good game plan. He was like, if you see this motion, call this and go. I remember I called it. And the lineman didn't move. I was like, fuck it, I'm going in. And I just ran through the hole. I was like, something's going to happen if I run through this hole. And I just was at the ball. Stuff like that. That's good coaching. And everybody patted me like, good job, Darren. I was like, I literally just saw the motion and just took off running. That's all. And it worked. And like certain cues, they were like, you do this when you see this. You do this when you see this. And then when you call this, look like you're going to do this, but do that. Screw the other team up. I didn't know what I was doing. I would look at my safety every single play, Rashad Johnson, to double check to make sure I was doing the right thing. That's another walk.
But the thing is, you were playing aggressive.
You had no choice. It's either that or sit on the bench.
But see, this is why we've been so upset with Alabama's defense for the last couple of years because they were never playing aggressive. They would just sit there and take whatever the team gave them. And that's not the Alabama standard to us. Not to me anyway.
Well, Coach Steele was there at the beginning. He back now. Coach Steele, he was there at the beginning of the Nick Saban era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now he back. So, you know, if Peter Steele the same dude, I know he's grown over the years. I have a feeling those linebackers are going to be a little bit different. It's time to bring those awards back home.
Yeah, I agree. How do you feel like this generation of defensive player is going to respond to him? I know that his tactics, his style kind of reminds me of like Clint Eastwood and Gran Torino, just the ornery old guy. Will he be able to do that same or implement that same type of persona with these guys, or will he have to adjust it all?
I think time is going to tell us the truth. I know this generation, this day and age is different from coaching. Like I got to work with this guy named Mark Whipple, and he would just broke down recruiting to me from the past 30 years of how just different recruiting has been. And if recruiting is different and the game has changed with the rules, then coaching has to adjust as well. But when it all comes to it, it's still football, and it's still stop the man with the ball, period. So I think that would be all right. I think this generation, day and age, they're more athletic and they're longer and the game's faster. They run more side to side. They're more so downhill. So it's more about game planning and being able to tackle in space. I think that he's going to be a great coach at doing that. It's not – I don't think many people do the power eye much anymore. But, I mean, let's just be honest. That's pretty simple. You see that as a linebacker. Let's go. It's simple. You going to pull, I'm coming to you. But now that they spread us out to make the linebacker position have to be a little bit more a tweener. So you gotta be able to adjust. And I mean, just everything is evolving. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. You're either a better or worse or the same based on what you read or who you met. Same with Coach Steele.
Steve's still the same. He's still stealing gas. Steve Brown.
hey, he got pretty far doing it. So keep going.
Literally, he did.
I don't appreciate this, and me being the star of the show, I don't appreciate this.
Pure jealousy, Steve. That's all it is. It comes down to.
And he was stealing 87. He wouldn't even steal 93. Man, come on.
So, Darren, I got to ask you, in your career at Alabama, what was your hardest hit? Who did you just lay the wood to?
It was a cheat. It was a cheat because I made Sports Center's top 10.
You did. I remember that.
Yeah, and I came through the hole. It just opened up. I was like, let's go. So I just took off running. But I had to watch the film because I did not feel a thing. I hit the ground, got up and flexed. But I didn't hit any. I did, but I didn't. Rolando McClain did all the work. I was just the one who cleaned it up. But you couldn't see him unless you watched it in slow motion. So that was the hardest hit on paper. The hardest hit at Bama, period, was against DeMarcco Ryans. I was a scout team fullback. I pulled, and I was like, I'm going to knock the duty out of this kid because I knew everybody talking about Miko. I come full speed. This dude's, you know what I mean, just sitting there ready to set the edge, takes one step and lifts his shoulder. I get knocked out. Like, I'm dizzy. I try my best. I was like, I don't know how that man hits that like that. From that day forward, I knew that guy is different. Whew, that's the hardest hit ever. I mean, it hurt. It hurt. Now, that's it. Miko Ryans.
All right. The most difficult player you faced on an opposing team, not your own.
A while ago. I'll say, what's it, that white running back from LSU, Hester?
Jacob Hester?
Jacob Hester, yeah.
He was a low. Quietly, he was a low. I was like, this dude shouldn't be. Because, he was not as good as – I think Derek McFadden was not as good as him. I think Felix Jones was not as good as him. I think that whole Arkansas running backfield was overrated. That's just me.
Darren,
that's just go watch the field. Go watch the film.
No, that's awesome. I like that. Go ahead.
You just made Justin's day.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. That's what it is. What it is. I thought that you asked. That running back from LSU.
Yes,
he was low.
Yes, he said the white running back Justin back there like yes. Damn it, yes.
He got it.
Damn it. Hey man.
But I'm Irish. He didn't hit an Irish running back, so I'm back by myself.
Hey, Darren, I thought you were going to say, Peyton Hillis, but you said Jacob Hester.
No, Peyton was in that same that game. They only ran to him. Everywhere he went, they just run to Peyton Hillis, and you'll make the play. That's how they were overrated.
Okay.
Because at LSU, there's just something about playing LSU. It's just different when you play them dudes.
Yeah, they play Bama really hard. They really do.
No, see, I think what it is about LSU, they play this one song before every game. I'm from Louisiana, and that's all they need. And that's all they need.
Louisiana. Yeah, that's a catchy song, man.
I promise you it is, though.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of running down on time here, but real quick, Darren, I know I've had you go in the memory banks a lot tonight because this was all about you. But name your greatest moment at Alabama.
Citizens Club.
Oh, well, that's understandable.
Don't take the bait.
My greatest moment at Bama. Walk in it. Man, look here. 13 floors, and you know what? That was fun. It ain't the greatest.
Did you hear that, Steve?
It was my greatest moment was probably with my friends. Antoine Caldwell, BJ Stabler. I had a good group of guys that I kicked it with. BJ's still there. Antoine's doing his thing in Houston. I had dinner with him a couple months ago. But besides that, it's probably getting that scholarship just to have some validation to, damn it, I can do more than just show up. Now, y'all didn't want me here. Now you're giving me money. You damn right. So, that was one of my big deals. Even though I didn't celebrate, my friends celebrated even harder than me. I was like, okay, now I got a shot because now they believe I can play. So that was one of the big moments because just validation, dude, you all right. You can go play with them.
That's what's up.
Let me break it down real quick. So one of the things that we love most was when we would see a walk-on get that full scholarship because for all of us, we were all top 100 players in the country. So, the whole process was nothing new to us. I was sitting here with 50-some scholarship offers. I could have went anywhere in the country, and that was most of my team. So when we would see the walk-ons get the love, man, it would mean the world to us because we knew they put the work in to get there. Whereas we did it in high school, and some showed up, panned out, some didn't. But the walk-ons actually had to show up and show out to get it.
That's what's up.
Hey, we got a question from the audience real quick, Darren. Don Parker wants to know the Nick Saban going off moment you'll never forget.
That's
I'm sure you saw a lot of those.
But it's I blue cover 2 twice. I never do it again.
You're gonna get in that deep third even as an adult.
You better not. Don't you take that cheese. But anyway, that was a good one. But the one that stands out was the same guy who was better than me that he said he never trust, never play, was sagging one day in football plans. Now I don't know why you would sag in football plans in practice. I don't get it. But we warming up, we jogging. Coach Saban goes off. What the hell is that, bro? You want to see my ass? Turns around, pulls his pants down. He got a jock strap on, ass out. Bro, I stopped running, warming up, and I started rolling on the ground, just laughing my ass off because there's the head coach with his pants down saying, "You want to see my ass? Take a look at my ass." It's so pale and flat and white. It's just so. I never get that. Never forget that. We try to warm up. Half the team is rolling on the ground laughing. I can't stop laughing. And to this day, it's like so many years ago, it's sticking in my head, man.
Wow.
Steve Brown, didn't you help him rehearse that before practice?
I did.
You did a good job.
But back then, I couldn't afford the jock strap. I just ripped the part of my tighty whities off and just let I ripped it back.
That's gross.
I ripped the back part of my tighty whities off and just left the elastic and made it do what it do. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying this live show, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Bama Standard YouTube channel. It's very important. Tell somebody that knows somebody with internet to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share, follow, comment. We want it all. We want all the smoke, man, because we clearly bring the players from Bama that know it all, been there, seen it, done it all. And man, we appreciate having you on, man. We really do, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's been
greatest
playing
Nick
phone
Saban,
tag.
greatest Nick Saban going off story. Great.
That's classic. Wow.
Said Nick literally showed his ass.
You got a point.
You heard it here first, guys.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, as we move into our closing segment, as I always like to turn over to you guys to pop what you got. I'm going to start off with Marvin Constant. Tell us what's going on with 40 Plus Strong, what you got in the works, and how folks can find you on social media.
You can find me on my IG, Constant45, on my Twitter, Constant451. But on my Instagram is the direct link to Amazon to actually get a copy of my book, Physical and Mental Fitness at 40 Plus. Understanding what goes into the actual process of building and maintaining once you're in your late 30s, 40s, and 50s, because it's a different mindset at this point. The things you did in your 20s, early 30s, they no longer work. You got to take a different approach at this age. So, again, I'm always available for questions. If you have them, just shoot me one on IG, and I'll respond quick. So
that's what's up. Steve Brown, you got a lot coming out the gates. What's going on?
Dude,
how can people be a part of it? And is there any more tickets left?
I don't even know, man. I haven't even checked, but the Stardome, I'll be the Stardome April. I don't even know what I got the date. Believe it or not, I'm 14th. Just excited to be there. I think it's April 14th through 16th. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But the tickets are going fast, man. Go to stardome.com. But this weekend I'll be in Cleveland, Ohio, doing what I do, man. Follow me on Instagram, Comic Steve Brown, and my Facebook fan page, Comedian Steve Brown. Whatever you do, don't follow Marvin. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Stephen M. Smith, what you got going on the rest of the week? I know we got a lot of material you're going to unload on us. What you got? And how can they find you on social media?
We popping spring practice, man. We getting back to that spring practice. It starts in the next couple of weeks. You know, Saban ready to get those guys back out there. Now, the university actually updated the roster, so a lot of weight gains and losses there on that roster. Speaking of weight losses, Jahmyr Gibbs is down to 316 pounds. That guy's going to be a monster in the defensive line. A couple of guys have gained weight. Jalen Milroe's now up to 220 pounds. So that guy's up. So I'm just saying. So you got some guys that have gained weight, which is good. Some guys have lost weight, which is good. The offensive line Bama could have this upcoming season. It could be nice if everything pans out there. So we begin to a lot of spring practice stuff, a lot of pro day stuff. And you can find me on Twitter at Coaching M. Smith there on Twitter, but we're plugging in a lot of spring practice stuff.
And they can find you in the morning at the elementary school directing traffic.
He still got the best of them.
Hey, look. You can actually find me in the morning driving the school bus.
That is. Hey, also, ladies and gentlemen, for all of your exclusive spring practice info, the Bama Standard is the place. The Bama Standard. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot for you. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe. Yeah, that's what we need you to do.
I just want to put into perspective, folks in the audience, when Stephen M. Smith was talking about weight loss in terms of Jahmyr Gibbs, he went from weighing 417 pounds to 316 pounds. He lost an entire human. That's how dedicated he is. Impressive. Marvin, Tom Reed says he's going to challenge you to a fight. He'll get his cardio from running.
Clearly, Tom doesn't see these traps. See how they start at the shoulder and they go off. Oh, we still in great shape over here. These traps, these good. Hey.
Darren Mustin, you are one of the hardest hitting linebackers, definitely the Saban era, and we're glad to have you on the show tonight. Saving you for the best for last. If you would, pop what you got going on. Again, if people join late, tell people where you're at right now, how they can find you on social media, and what's going on with your school.
Well, me, social media, Coach D. Mustin. I don't have that much going on. I'm just going to see a bunch of pictures of me and my wife.
Smart man.
But, hey, I'm at Tennessee State University right now, HBCU, working with all the sports teams there pretty much. Just loving life, loving Nashville. I'm in Nashville. If you're ever in Nashville, need to hit me up, let me know. That's it. I don't have much going on. I'm just coaching, baby. That's it.
Hey man, I like that. You said you on the Instagram with just you and your wife. That's what's up. Marvin said that's my lifestyle. I gotta change my lifestyle because I got a pictures of me and a bunch of a Waffle House night whores. But
Hey, if they ain't got no teeth, it ain't no good.
yeah. Actually it is. It's
I'm
a
not
wonderful
in this.
thing.
Nope.
It's a wonderful thing. It is.
I caught that,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, if you go to Waffle House and go to heaven. Trust me. Listen, you
I
might.
don't know what's worse, that or Karen comment talking about my knees.
Man, great show tonight, guys. As Steve Brown has said throughout the entire show, go to our YouTube channel. Once we are done, the Bama Standard, we are over 4,000 subscribers on that channel. Help us get to 10,000. You can make it happen by doing what we asked you to do. All the best clips, all the greatest news, best shows. And hey, more to come. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Hit that like button on the way out. Everybody who watched the replay, leave us a nice comment. Thank you to everybody in the live chats. That'll do it. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
That is.
Yes, sir.